Hello and welcome to the Drummergy podcast, the show about life and music. And I'm here with the producer.
Hello. Good morning.
Episode 171. Today's topic is going to be why musicians plateau and what to do about it. What do you think about that topic?
Is this coming from experience or what are we doing?
Well, of course.
Okay.
Everything I talk about is from experience,
Okay.
Mrs. Fisher.
All right.
But as we start to get into that, excuse me.
Jeez.
Yeah. I told Mary just before we went live, I said, there won't be any countdown to today's show. And she said, why? And with my monetization of my channel, I keep getting these notifications that my reels might contain copyrighted material or content. And I'm like, what?
What could
And I
that
think
be?
it's just the music that's playing behind the 30-second countdown.
Which
And
is like not copyrighted. It's not.
I wouldn't think so. Unless StreamYard owns that in some
but
way.
what's the point of having it then if you can't use it?
I know. So what would it be if I went to this and I said, good morning.
Ooh, right.
Copyright.
So let's just we'll just get like our whole family in here and do a bunch of clapping and cheering.
Yeah.
In the studio and then just duplicate the crap out of it and then it'll sound like a big audience.
Well, this is good motivation too, though, to come up with my own intro.
Oh. Was that my brain working this early in the morning?
That's my brain working.
Boing.
That.
That's not what my heart sounds like.
Your fun little tools right here.
Oh my gosh. You're going to scare the people away.
Thomas Schuster is here. Good morning.
Thomas is like, what is happening?
I know. Well, that's what you get when you don't have a 30-second countdown. You got to come up with some other shenanigans to make it all work. Hey, you might like this, Mrs. F. Today is National Cheesesteak Day.
Cheesesteak? Like Philly?
I would assume.
Wow.
Is there another cheesesteak?
I don't know.
And then today is also your favorite chocolate-covered raisin day.
I'm not a big chocolate-covered raisin.
You like raisins.
No, I can't stand raisins. Gosh, and don't put them in cookies and things. Oh, it's like bugs in your food.
Part of the recipe got wet, so I
had to improvise. It's got raisins in it.
Anybody know what movie that is?
You like raisins.
And then that gelatin slop just
crawls
its way off the table. Oh, I could watch that movie over and over and over and over. $2.
Celeste Myers, you really know how to go out of your way to make a good impression.
See, you got the accent down and everything. Just so good. So good. Jamie Vink is here. Oh, Jamie's got the answer. Better off dead.
That's right.
Boom.
Where's your clap? Do it.
Oh,
yeah.
Shoot.
Oh, Fred, come on now.
I know.
There we go.
Well, I can't have the sound effects toolbar open and the comments bar at the same time. At least I don't think so. I'll have to see if I can fix that. But great job, Jamie.
Yeah, well.
Great job.
So this episode is brought to you by 12th Fret Music.
Yes.
From new to vintage guitars and amps, they'll help you find something you will genuinely love playing. Stop by their shop on Capitol Boulevard. And what's that street number, Fred?
671 South Capitol Boulevard.
671 South Capitol Boulevard.
It's fun to say 671.
Yeah.
67.
Yeah, across from the park, next to FedEx. And support your local music store. What does their sign say? It says buy local, B-U-Y,
yep.
or buy local,
right,
B-Y-E.
Right.
Yeah. We were just there on Sunday.
We were.
And I found a guitar. My eyes were caught by that guitar.
Your eyes were caught by that guitar, and as we were,
and I even got to hold it and
strum it a little.
Yep.
You caressed it.
And I caressed it. All right, let's not get crazy.
But it was kind of that 60s looking.
It was very retro. It was a Fender. It was It was beautiful, and I wanted it, but um, it'll have to be like that Wayne's World thing, you know.
Oh, it'll be mine.
She will be mine.
It will be mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said, don't sell it to anybody. Right.
Rob's just gonna let it hang from the
Yeah.
ceiling for an
And some
eternity.
dude literally comes up. He's like, "Can I look at that?" I'm like, there's 300 guitars hanging from
I know.
the
Well,
ceiling.
why do you have to look at the one I'm holding? Why do you have to look at the one I'm holding?
Oh, they are the House of 64 Marshall cabinets. They're planning on hooking up amps and turning that baby on.
Yeah.
They will be open during Tree Fort. And are they doing something in the parking lot? I can't remember. Did he say?
So I believe Rob's plan is to have a drum kit, some guitar amps, bass amps, and a PA all set up in the parking lot for bands to just stop by.
A little open jam?
And have a little open jam.
Wow.
James Harrison says I need to be louder.
Oh.
Ooh, I could be louder.
Just Fred needs to be louder, or do I need to be louder too?
Well, I actually started turning down your mic because it was so loud in my ears.
Oh. Well, now you just got louder in my ears.
See, we're always I raised the mic up a little
I know,
bit.
so that's probably better.
Yeah. It's better if you can hear me better.
Well, we'll see about that.
Yes, so that's what they're planning to do, is have a ready to play gear so that you can just show up and plug in your stuff and go.
Yeah, so while you're walking around downtown checking out Tree Fort, stop in at 12th Fret and check out what they've got. Check out the big wall. Look at their pretty guitars. Don't touch the one that I want to buy. It's hanging right up front.
Yeah.
You'll see it because she'll catch your eye too.
It's a Fender.
Don't say.
Well, they need to know which one not to touch.
The pretty one.
There's so many pretty ones there.
It's the nice one that looks retro. You'll see it as soon as you walk in the door because it's right up front.
I looked at it and it made me think of wanting to get a milkshake.
Or the Jetsons, or like...
Yeah, the Jetsons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep. And it's one of my favorite colors, so... Rob, you got to hold on to it for me. I'll do the layaway plan. It's going to take me 3 years to pay it off. Or I could just come down and like clean your shop and earn it.
Hey, you were talking about maybe having a part-time job. Maybe you go and work at 12th Fret Music.
Hey, Rob, you got anything I can do? Yeah, and I also took a little walk into the expensive room.
You did?
Yes.
Wow.
And there was some interesting stuff in there. I've never seen a $10,000 guitar, but there were two in there.
Wow.
So, yeah, if you want to see some of those vintage guitars, that's the room.
That's the room to go to.
Yeah. I was very careful. I kept my purse close to my body so I didn't swing around and hit something.
Good plan.
Yeah. I moved very slowly.
Now, you guys out there don't know, but when the producer goes shopping, things just fall off.
No, Fred.
They fall off of shelves. They fall off of
That's clothes
racks.
shopping.
Yeah.
Clothes shopping.
Mary just has to be near clothes and they just fall off the racks on the floor.
You cursed me with that, though.
That's been the case
did.
for a long time.
That was never a problem. And all of a sudden he's like, every time you look at clothes, they fall off the hangers. I'm like, what? And I didn't even know what he was talking about. And now and here we are 30 years later, clothes are still falling off hangers. It doesn't matter if it's a shirt or if it's pants or a skirt. All I have to do is touch the hanger and move it, like, because I'm like going through the hangers.
Yeah.
All I have to do is touch it and stupid things just like. Bro, that's going to be your head here in a minute.
Jamie says, sorry, I blew up your mom, Ricky.
Yeah.
Such a great scene.
Doctor says she'll be okay. She just can't eat spicy foods for a while.
Yeah. Yeah. So I did find out from Rob down at 12th Fret Music that drumsticks and drum heads have been ordered.
Ooh.
So you can get Vader drumsticks there here soon and Aquarian drum heads.
Very nice.
It's very cool. Very cool, I say. Yeah. All right. Are you ready to talk some shop?
Sure.
Talk shop. And we have an audience here that can weigh in too.
Yeah.
So I think that every musician experiences moments where they feel stuck in their playing, or that they've plateaued, they've reached a certain level of playing, and they don't seem to ever progress past that. No matter how much, I mean, you can play a lot. I play a lot, but a lot of times it's the same stuff over and over, depending on the band I'm playing with, right? So kind of you fall into a routine, maybe. Jamie might know this, or even James, because they've had house gigs that lasted for long periods of time. And so how does that happen? Is he louder now? Oh, I am louder now. I think I'm louder.
Okay.
James hasn't said.
Well, he only just posted that 2 minutes ago. He's waiting for you to talk.
Right.
Remember, there is a 7-second delay.
Okay. Now, Mary, have you ever felt stuck as a musician? And what does that look like for you?
Oh, I wasn't prepared to answer this question.
I know. I wasn't prepared to ask you, but here I am.
Well, I guess I'm partially in that condition right now. Not as a singer, because I'm gigging a lot with Casio Dreams, but on the flip side of it, on the guitar playing and piano playing side and recording and stuff, I would say, yeah, I'm currently in that lull now. But in the past, though, when I was like playing in church all the time, I would get burnout. I don't know that I would say I was at a plateau. But if you're talking about like ability,
well, here's what I'm thinking.
Are you talking about ability or just?
Well, so sometimes people
like, equate, I'm just doing the same thing day after day, week after week.
Well, I got some little points here for you. Let's see if this helps you. You're playing but not improving. You default to the same patterns and fills, which I've been definitely part of. Songs feel comfortable, maybe too comfortable. You stop being challenged, or you feel bored or slightly frustrated. You didn't get worse. You just stopped getting better.
Yes.
So what does that look like for you, producer?
Wow. Why am I on the spot?
Anybody out there can...
I don't know if this is supposed to be him trying to motivate me or what.
Anybody out there can answer these questions, because this is an interactive show.
Well, okay, so here's a funny thing that happened.
We got James and Jamie here, and Thomas Schuster.
Yeah, I know. Here's a funny thing that happened many years ago.
Okay.
And it was in church, and it was in the earlier days of me playing guitar and not bass. And I'd say I probably had already been playing for maybe a couple years at this point. And I guess I didn't really feel like my playing was getting better. For what I was doing in church, I was doing what I needed to.
Sure.
But there was there was a song that I start. Which song was it? I think it was Friend of God. I can't remember which one it was. And I started the song. And John wanted a count. He wanted the tempo set. And I'm like, no, dude. I'm like, I just play it as fast as I can, and that's the tempo. And he's like,
because your ability would only let you go so
fast. Because I could only play it so fast. Yeah. He goes, but what if you get better? And I said, there's no chance of that happening.
Yes.
He's like, oh my gosh.
That was a good moment.
But
what if you get better?
But to his credit, I did get better.
You did get better. And the song got faster. That's how that was working.
Oh my gosh.
It
was all a joke. Good. It was all a joke, of course, but it was so funny.
Well, I think sometimes critique for each other comes in the form of joking.
Yeah. What if you get better? That's not going to happen.
Well, I mean, here's a good example. Like, most people know that I've played music with Alfred De Verona for off and on for 30 some years. And we were playing a show one time, and we went back to the green room during a break. And he said, Fred Fisher, you hear all my bad notes. And I looked right at him. I said, I'm not sure I hear all of them.
Oh my gosh.
Now that's a joking response, right?
Right. Sure.
But I guess one could surmise by just that conversation, like the awareness of
I guess I make
around.
A bunch of mistakes.
Right.
Well, Alpha's kind of an anomaly too, though, because he got really good really fast. And when Anthony talks about, I gave him a guitar and he went and figured out how to play it. Came back like knowing what to do. I'm like, what?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's a desire and a passion that people have to really become
there's a natural talent that has to accompany that level of learning so fast, right? Like,
I would think so.
I mean, anybody could, if they worked hard enough, they could get to that same level, but it might take them a lot longer than it took Alf.
One comment I get from students frequently is that I make it look easy, like whatever we're playing or working on, or each student's working on. Well, for one, I've been doing it for so long, and now, like, drumming is my day job, right? So I'm drumming all the time.
Okay.
I'm always have sticks in my hands, it seems. And then when I'm working with students, a lot of times I myself am working on the same things over and over throughout the week because I have many students working on the same things. Okay. And so just by default, I'm putting in a lot of time just by working with them, right?
All right, well, let's get back to the question at hand, what you asked me. So, like, has there a plateau?
Yes.
And in my playing? Absolutely. And I'd say there's probably a decline at this point because I haven't played my guitar really in 2 years. Every now and then I'll pick it up and do something, but I haven't played since I played at your mom's funeral.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, I haven't had a purpose.
And even up in, so when you played at my mom's funeral, even before then, you weren't even playing.
No, I wasn't. I probably hadn't played for like a year. Like, because we stopped doing the music at church when the shutdown happened and never got back because we were stepping down from the team anyway at that point and never got back. And I was, oddly enough, the only time I was asked to come back and play for anything was for funerals. I think I've played 4 funerals in that time, which is kind of weird, but it was good for the people that wanted me. But so I'd say it's probably, if anything, it's declined a little bit just because I'm out of practice. But I never really got to a really great level. It was just always kind of intermediate, and I've always wanted to get better, and I want to, and I don't, it's not something that I think about during the day, like, oh, I should go grab my guitar. Like, I don't even think about it. And I have it sitting out right here in my office. So you'd think,
you walk,
but if I don't come in here,
I
know if I don't come out here, I don't think about it. But like, I had you get me those books.
I did.
Those little books. And so I need to get them out here and start messing around with different chord voicings and things.
What if you were to dedicate?
I always just played the same chords.
What if you were to dedicate 20 minutes every day to playing your guitar?
Okay.
What if?
I could do that.
I know you could, but what would happen if you did?
Well, I would get better, of course.
Okay. Well, yeah.
I get my calluses back.
There you go. All right, so James, Mr. Harrison, he says, all of the above have happened with me before, mostly on house gigs where I didn't care for the material.
Oof, yeah.
We've all had that where we're playing songs and we're not really excited about the song itself, right? And then I had to remind myself that I love the drums even if I don't love a song. When in a rut, I would address something different style. I would address something.
Can you read?
Yes. Well, there's another comment I was reading, and then another comment popped up,
Oh
and so
my
it
gosh.
pushed it to the top.
I
and
had
so
to remind myself that
Oh
I
my
love the
gosh.
drums, even if I don't love a song. When in a rut, I would address something like different styles and house gigs to re-engage in a challenge.
Yeah.
Jamie Vink jumped in and said, with playing a 2-hour set that rarely changes, I get with the drummer and add little bass drum riffs and runs. Keeps it fun for us, even if the crowd doesn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And Jamie, you guys are probably able to do that without taking the song off the cliff, right? You can just stay, and that's where like material develops over time, right? Do you guys probably experienced that in Casio Dreams? I know, like going back to when Midline was playing a lot, and songs would slowly morph a little bit. Maybe an intro would get a little bit longer, and so you start having these things because of the frequency in which you're playing, where you start stretching. You get, so one of the things that it said is like songs feel comfortable, maybe too comfortable. Like for me, when a song feels really comfortable, that's where I feel like I can take some chances.
Sure.
And you know, I've done that with Cliff Miller. I've done that with Midline. I've done that with a lot of different things. Like when I start feeling really comfortable with a song, and that's where you start. And the other thing for me too is like if I can hear everything really well. For example, I just played at the Egyptian Theater Friday night with Gary Tackett's Crossroads tribute to Eric Clapton band. That's a lot of words to say.
Yeah.
But my mix in my ears was so good. I felt I was having one of those moments, and I'm sure that Jamie and James could relate, is that I felt like I could play anything. Like stuff was just flowing as I played.
Wow.
And it was really, really cool. It was inspiring.
It was a good gig.
Like just the mix in my ears felt like I could do anything. And
wow.
And being comfortable with certain songs more than others, where just like inspiration would happen and you start adding some stuff in there. And when that happens too, I think it energizes the rest of the band. The rest of the band's trusting you, and they're not like going, oh, he's playing something different, now let's freak out. They're they
what's happening?
I know. Like what I'm doing is working, and so then the rest of the band can kind of pick up with the vibe I'm putting out, right? Sure. And vice versa. There were some times where Gary turned around and you could just tell by his body language, the way that he was moving, the direction the song was going to go.
Yeah.
And it's just that those are magical moments for me. So and not every gig's going to be that way either.
Okay. So
for me, like just that point of like, if a song feels comfortable or maybe too comfortable, for me, that's the thing where I feel freedom coming.
Okay. Well, we're talking about plateauing.
I know. So that's one of the plateau things, like where some songs feel comfortable, maybe too comfortable.
Oh. Okay. Gotcha.
All right. So now playing instead of practicing, repetition without intention, running songs versus working on weakness.
These are things that keep you in a plateau?
Yeah. Why musicians plateau.
Okay.
You're playing instead of practicing.
Mm-hmm. Not being challenged.
Right? Yeah.
Because, I mean, that's how, when you first start playing an instrument, right? Whether it's in grade school or just something you are teaching yourself, like if you have a purpose besides, I want to do this for fun. Sometimes I want to do this for fun. Like, I don't know, like you can't really move fast enough. We were talking about this with the girls last week, that like a couple of them are gigging now. So
my students,
all of a sudden their purpose has changed. Like they're not just like, oh, well, Fred gave me this assignment, I have to practice these exercises and whatever. And these songs that he gave me, now I've got these other songs. Now I've got this band that wants me to play, and I've got 40 songs to learn. And, but that's where all the, everything they've learned so far prepares them.
Well, suddenly
they're going to get a lot better real quick because they've got a lot of work to do.
Well, part of it, I believe, is that they have a commitment to somebody other than themselves.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Good point. Yeah.
And so if you have a commitment to somebody other than yourself, I would think at least my own personal responsibility of as a musician is to be very prepared for those situations. Like, I don't want to let down the people I'm committed to, and I don't want to let myself down. Now, I do know that there's musicians out there who will commit to something, but they do absolutely zero work to prepare.
Yeah.
And that is frustrating, really frustrating for me, who wants to be prepared. And then when I play with them, I'm like, oh man, this is the biggest drag ever. This is talk about something that lets the air out of the tires.
Yeah.
That's I mean, that's for me, right? But I do have students that ask me, like, how often do I practice? How do I answer that, producer?
Well,
you witnessed this.
I can answer that.
Yeah.
You don't come out and practice every day like a student would.
No.
You practice when you've got something coming up. But you also do play every day, in a sense that you're out here with students every day, and it's not like you sit there. Like, I hear you playing. Yeah. Things get louder when you start playing with them. But
it's so fun.
You're playing.
Yeah.
But you're teaching. But yeah, like you don't typically come out and just play just for the fun of it, or like, oh, I just kind of want to learn the song. You're doing it because you've got something that you're working towards.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whether it's filling in for jukebox, or recording a song for somebody, or midline, tracking a song for midline or whatever,
Here's an interesting thing, just to kind of expand off of that. Like, some students won't practice because they're on vacation.
Sure.
And I mean, aside from being on vacation, they think, well, I don't have my drum set with me. And I'm like, you have sticks and you have hands in a lap. Like, you can play.
Yeah,
like,
that's funny, because drummers, like, okay, I remember being
they tap on everything.
Yeah, I remember being in junior high, and like the kids in band class, like, we'd be sitting out waiting for, they'd be waiting for the bus to come, and they're on the steps, outside the school, or on a post or something. Like, they're always drumming. And if it wasn't with their drumsticks, it was their dang pencils on their desk.
Yeah. Yeah. Guilty as charged.
Like, Quentin, knock it off.
Guilty as charged.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so it's interesting. And that's a great point. Like, drummers seem to just kind of, they tap all the time. Even when they're sitting right here in the room, I could be talking and they'll be like kind of spaced. I don't know if they're really listening to me sometimes. They're going through their mind what they're.
Well, that's the cool thing about drumming is you can use your hands, you can use sticks, you can use pencils, you can whatever, and you hear what you're doing. Whereas, like, you can't do that with a guitar and a piano and whatever else. Like, you can try, but you can't hear what if you're like kind of tapping around with your fingers on it. Like, if you're not producing any sound, you don't know what you're doing, really. Yeah. Like, you got to hear it. Yeah. So that's the cool thing about percussion, is that you get to hear, even, when you're practicing on not your actual instrument.
Yeah.
So James says, I've found with students, even with myself at times, when practicing, if anything is difficult, we tend to go back and play something we're comfortable with more than challenge ourselves. Totally. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So with my guitar playing, part of it is I like the open chords. I can't stand barred chords, and my hands are so small that I just kind of suck at them. But I can play them, but they're just not as good, and I just don't like the sound of a barred chord.
That's why you need a new guitar, right?
Open chords. Yeah, I definitely need that guitar.
And an amp to go with it.
Oh, well, the guitar has to come first. Anyway, yeah, and so if I'm trying to learn some new fingering on something, I'm like, oh, this hurts, or I can't reach, or whatever. Yeah, I'll go right back to the E chord that I know. It says your son Christian was a great example of someone that had a specific goal and was completely driven to practice and achieve it. Oh yeah, those drum corps kids are insane. Drew, who is 2 years, he's 2 years younger than Christian. He's actually, James, he just is starting his second year with Santa Clara Vanguard this year.
Yep, it's his age out year.
It's his age out, and he started with Christian and Battalion. I think that was in 21. And he was at Battalion for 2 or 3 years, and then did Pacific Crest, and then Vanguard the last year and this year.
Yeah.
So that kid, though, but for him to audition for Vanguard, he was practicing 40 hours a week. And then he would practice, and then he would come over here and practice with Christian till like 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Yeah. Talk about not wanting to plateau.
No, the stakes are high, right?
Yeah, stakes are high. Hi, Evelyn.
Yeah, Evelyn's here. She was on the show last week.
Yeah, Evelyn's when we were talking about 40, got to learn 40 songs.
Yeah, Evelyn's killing it.
So she's got a purpose, and so there'll be no plateauing at the time because she's going to be improving and learning. And
so last week during Evelyn's lesson, she was really motivated to play to the metronome, play with the click, because she wants to.
Atta girl.
She wants to ingrain in her mind the tempos of these songs. Yeah. Like she wants to just do an absolutely fantastic job for her band.
Yes.
Right. So just in that alone, she's going to bring a lot of value to the band because of what she personally wants to achieve.
Evelyn, tell us what the name of the band is, because I don't remember.
It is.
Oh, do you remember?
Reactivo. Oh. See, I can never get my rars to work right until I go.
Oh my gosh!
I'm pretty sure it's Reactivo.
Well,
I can hear her laughing, even though I can't hear her laughing.
No, I just heard her laugh too.
Yeah. See, she said Reactivo. You got it, Fred. Yeah, there you go. So the playing instead of practicing. We talked about that. Repetition without intention. So I think sometimes you could practice stuff and have no intention. And so even though you're repeating things over and over, there's no progress. So you kind of have to self-evaluate as you're going. That's why I tell students, and I'm sure James can relate, is that if a student can video themselves playing, most importantly, just the recording, like the audio recording, so they can hear. I tell students, because I've experienced this myself when I was younger, like I would video myself playing and then I'd be like into watching myself.
You're still into watching yourself.
I still am into watching myself. But they can watch themselves and they can see, I just did that with my hands. Like that was weird. Or they're moving, or they can see how loose they're being, or if they're playing with, they've got this tension built up, if they're gripping too tight. And they can see and hear what they're doing.
I think like you could do that looking in a mirror, but when you're doing that in a mirror, you're playing at the same time. And I think seeing yourself on a recording is easier to watch and assess than just looking at yourself in a mirror.
Yeah. Check out Jamie's comment here.
I had a plateau moment and started diving into theory and reading. Music is so big. There are always things to work on. That's very true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, and so I, because I did band I started in 5th grade and went through 9th grade, and 9th grade was junior high here. So I didn't get into marching band or like the higher level. And my band teacher in junior high was like, our class was so naughty that I'm not joking. And, in 8th grade, like we just couldn't shut up. Like we were just so unruly. I don't know what the deal was.
Sounds like 8th graders to me.
It wasn't. I don't want to say I wasn't participating in that. I don't think, but but it was just as a whole, the class was just so unruly that at one point he said, "If you guys can't behave, like if you can't like be quiet or whatever, I'm flunking all of you."
Whoa.
And he said, and the only way to get out of it is to switch to the 9th grade band class.
Whoa.
And guess what happened?
You switched to the 9th grade band class.
He flunked us all. He did. He flunked everybody. Wow. He actually did it. And so I had to move to the 9th grade class because there was no way I was going to have that.
Mm-hmm.
But like,
yes.
So that was like, I guess my point was that I didn't really get any music theory because he didn't have time to teach us because he was too busy dealing with naughtiness.
Uh-huh.
So never really learned through. And I just remember, we would be not taking playing tests, but he would say, okay, so and so play this exercise or whatever. And he would realize we can't play anything. There'd be the two kids that actually could read music, and the rest of us were just listening to what that person did. And because we could see the notes, but we didn't know the rhythms. We didn't understand the rhythms, which a lot of kids struggle with that. And I just remember him trying to write on the board and explain things. He was so fed up that here we were in 9th grade and we couldn't, or 8th grade or whenever it was, you've been playing since 5th grade. How do you not know what an 8th note is? How to play this?
Yeah.
Simple stuff. So I didn't do band in high school. So I didn't get all that theory. And so here I am in my 50s trying to learn all that stuff. And I bought the Rick Beato package, ear training and all this stuff. Is this package. It's this will be great.
Have you utilized
and
that?
I started watching the videos, and
yes.
He wasn't in the videos I was watching. He didn't start at a basic level like I expected. And I don't know, he has a few lessons and then all of a sudden he jumps into modes and my brain exploded and I hit a brick wall and I've been stuck there since. And I just can't get, I feel I can't, if I cannot understand what the heck he's talking about, I can't move on. I can't go on. I can't jump ahead. I'm I have to do everything in a progression, in order. I can't go oh, I'm on level 2. I'm going to jump up to level 8 and skip all these other ones. Cause I can't do that. My brain won't let me.
Yeah. Well, we gotta keep moving before you.
But yeah. So because I gotta go. But yeah. So I've plateaued in that way as well.
Yeah. So one of the things that just to bounce off you really quick before you take our son to school is one of the reasons people plateau is there's no clear goal. I want to get better versus specific targets. And so we kind of talked about that a little bit, with what Evelyn's situation is or Serena, where now they have a responsibility to themselves and other people to come to follow through with that commitment. Right. So they're going to practice those things. That's what. So Evelyn said time signatures are something that is still confusing. Well, we'll work that out, Evelyn.
And James says in response to what I was saying, difficult part is to remember that practicing is something you're unable to do yet, while playing is for something you can do. Mm-hmm. Exception is improvisation type gigs where exploration is essential.
Yeah.
We hope you like our new direction.
I'm going to mute your mic while you go take Ian.
I still have 5 minutes.
Oh, you have 5 minutes? Yeah. Okay, cool. Another reason is lack of feedback, why people plateau. So you've got no teacher.
Yeah.
You've got no band.
Yeah.
You got no outside ears.
You got nobody saying, well, what if you get better? That's
right.
not going to happen.
Yeah. Even, excuse me. So I think it's really important. I think I have a certain ability to play, right? And an ability to teach and all this experience. But that doesn't mean I'm without fault or that I can't learn something new.
Yeah.
So it's really great to play with other people in the different bands that I've been in.
Yeah.
And I could be playing and somebody might lean over and say, how about if you try this other thing? Because maybe what I'm playing in that moment isn't quite working. Mm-hmm. Or maybe I played something that made them think, oh, if we go this other direction. So maybe not that I played anything wrong, but if we try this other thing, maybe that'll be the magic thing that happens. So if you're playing with other people, then you get that immediate feedback from the people that you're playing with, and vice versa. Do you find that to be true?
Yeah.
Yeah. You sound really distant for some reason.
Because I was back here like this.
Oh.
Now I'm up here like
this. Time fragmentation. You talked about that too, Mary, where you have a lot of time in between you playing guitar. So inconsistent practice.
Yeah.
Here's another one for you that you just talked about: mental burnout.
Yeah.
Life gets busy. Music becomes one more thing.
Yeah.
So that's, I think that's probably the case for a lot of maybe what you consider hobbyist musicians.
Sure.
Where it's the thing that they do occasionally.
Yeah.
And they maybe have a lot of fun with it, but maybe their skill level just never really moves past a certain point.
Well, I can tell you that when it gets more advanced, it's definitely more fun.
Yeah. Yeah. There's books that I work out of here that have more challenging drum parts in them. And sometimes it takes a while to work just through the mechanics of everything that you're doing, and maybe studying either the time signature that it's in, or things that are happening within each beat.
Well, I think ultimately, like when you're learning to play an instrument, you're wanting to, I want to be a good guitar player like Prince. I want to shred like, Van Halen, Eddie Van Halen, or I wish I could play drums like Neil Peart. Whatever. Like you have to start in book 1.
Sure.
And if you can't ever get out of book 1, you're going to lose interest. There's
that's why I did that show. Like, are you an elevator drummer or you take the stairs drummer?
Yeah. Well,
those two could tie into each other, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or sometimes you're just in a hurry to get somewhere.
But we all want to get to a certain level, and when we don't move like at the pace we want, it can be frustrating and discouraging.
Yeah. Evelyn says, I need to learn I can't be 100% on the first try.
Well, that's true.
I think sometimes you can, but you can't expect that every time.
Right.
So I think sometimes okay, I just did a month of
I think as you get more advanced, you can nail those things probably more easily than if you're a beginner.
You recognize patterns and things. But for me, like I did the jukebox thing. I did 3 shows with them over the last month, and some of those songs I played 3 times. So by the time I first heard them to the last time that I played them, for me, I could tell there was a big difference in what I did, because I got a chance to practice and digest them a little bit more. So Evelyn, I think the more you digest a song, the more you can internalize a song, the more comfortable you're going to get with that song. And then that worry, if there is a worry, that worry gets less and less and goes away.
You're more confident.
See, Evelyn says, I'm talking about being a pro on the first try. I still feel like a baby learning how to walk. And even though that might be true, Evelyn, you're on stage playing. You're you're further along than most people.
Yeah.
There's so many people that have been in the audience that maybe played an instrument at one point, and they just never, ever either had the opportunity or they just didn't feel like they were good enough to reach that point.
Well, with Evelyn, when she came and did those covers.
Yeah.
So it was like 2 songs that were worked out, that you guys had been working on. And then she's like, oh, and I want to do this montage type thing that you weren't really aware. Like you guys had talked about, but I don't think you really understood what she was after.
No.
And so there were like 5 songs there that she was wanting to make like a montage with. So she wasn't talking about playing the whole song or recording the whole song, just like snippets of it, and I would piece it together.
Yep.
And so I'm not sure how much learning was done on that on her own.
A lot.
Was there? Okay. Because I thought she said she hadn't practiced those much at all when she was here.
Well, I didn't work on any of those songs with her.
Right. I know, but I don't.
None of them.
I guess I thought she said she hadn't practiced them much or whatever. But my point is that, let's see. Oh, she's talking about something else. So my point is that there were things that you had to help her with.
Mm-hmm.
And like the Ghostbusters thing at the beginning of Ghostbusters, that that whole count was tricky for her. And then I think you had to show her how to play upside down. But and then you showed her the Tom thing on running.
The name
of
the
hill.
Song is Upside Down. I didn't have to show her how to play upside down. I'll leave that to Tom.
Diana Ross, Upside Down. But she picked up on him pretty quickly.
Wow, how do you do that?
My point was that she picked up on him
pretty
quickly. So
yeah. Yeah.
Okay, she says, I was at band practice yesterday and I felt I didn't do as good of a job yesterday as I usually do. It's a weird feeling that 100% looks different every day. Hey, that's like being an athlete too.
Yeah, right?
Some days you go in for the layup and you nail it, and other days you can't hit a basket to save your life.
Yeah.
Some days you can run really freaking fast, and other days you can't hit your time at all.
Definitely.
And it's the same with music, and it's the same with singing or drumming or playing guitar.
Some days
are good, some days suck.
Some days I feel like, what are these?
Yeah.
Like,
these feel so weird.
Or a guitar player playing with oven mitts on, it's just like, what happened?
Okay, I gotta take off.
Okay, well, while you're taking off, I'm going to continue.
Okay.
Jamie says it's just like at the gym. It takes work before you see results. Then everyone sees the results as well. Yep. Yeah. Absolutely. Anything that you do well requires time to achieve that. Now there's this whole thing, I can't remember what the saying is exactly, but where you need 10,000 hours to become proficient at something. I think some people are capable of lessening that curve a little bit, but nonetheless, the point being that it takes a long time to get really accomplished at something. So, one thing like how to recognize your plateauing, I think we covered some of this already, but maybe haven't learned anything new in weeks or months, or you avoid certain tempos or styles. Now, I live most of my life in this hard rock realm of music, and I feel really comfortable playing that. Then I'll have to work on some jazz type stuff with students, which is a weakness spot for me. I'm not really proficient in jazz. I know enough to help a student get their feet under them, like for maybe junior high or high school jazz band. Oddly enough, sometimes even for college. And there's a lot of nuance in playing jazz, whereas playing rock, like I play like I'm framing a house. So it's not as nuanced as playing jazz and having that feel and touch. But the more I do that with my students, the better I get at it. Like I start to kind of find my groove, if you will, when it comes to jazz. But I don't spend very much time in that world. I don't know a lot of the history of that. So I can't start telling you like who this drummer was and who this artist is. Like my education in that is really, really low. So I can't hang very well with people who start talking about the history of jazz and all of those things. But in the realm of rock, I can hang pretty well. Yes, James, I use this saying that you posted all the time, and it's very profound, I believe. They used to say, don't practice until you get it right, practice until you can't get it wrong. And I love that. And I think, James, you might be the one that I actually heard that from earlier in my earlier days of teaching. And I think I'll just credit you from that's where I heard it from. Excuse me. But the point being is that sometimes, you can work on something and struggle and struggle and struggle. Excuse me. Good grief. And then all of a sudden you played 4 bars of a drum beat just great. And then my students will say, yay, I did it. I'm like, okay, but can you do that for 3 minutes? And then they get this worried look on their face like, I don't know. It's easy to play something for 30 seconds over and over and get that right. But can you play that for 3 minutes, 5 minutes? And then I'll get my little timer out, this one on my phone, and I'll say, okay, let's just play it for 2 minutes. And so now I think there's a psychological thing to this too. Like when they're seeing this go and they're playing and they got to make it to 2 minutes, there's something else going on in your mind, like the pressure of the timer. But yeah, it's like, did you learn it well enough to internalize it? It doesn't mean you're going to play it perfect every time, but yeah. James says, I'm old and wise now. Well, I don't know. We're at that age now where we just say age is just a number. You are definitely wise, my friend. Definitely wise. Uh, so recognizing that you're plateauing, like I have that too when I'm recording songs for people, and thankfully I have Mary on the other side of the glass sometimes to sometimes she hears something different that maybe I should try, but she'll be like, "You play that drum fill in like every song that you play." And I didn't realize that was happening. Now, one thing is that I think sometimes the song will just dictate what's appropriate to play. But sometimes I get like tunnel vision when I am I playing. And I think we can all like this comfort zone of what we do. And you know that those things work. But is there something else that's also complementary for the song that you're just not thinking of? And so that's when it's beneficial sometimes to have Mary on the other side of the glass to she'll just say she'll speak in some kind of rhythmic pattern. Well, maybe you can try this or play this in a reverse order or something like she'll and that's the great thing too about working with another musician. Like Mary has a lot of skills in a lot of different instruments. Now she'll say that she doesn't. Now, no, she's not some prolific guitar player or bass player, but she has a really great knowledge of music and she can figure things out pretty quick and obviously can sing. And because of that musical awareness, that her input typically brings a lot of value, which sometimes is hard to admit when you're in the middle of what you're doing. And I've told people before, like the hardest thing about recording is watching Mary on the other side of the glass going, it's not it. Thomas says I'm plateauing because I'm overcommitted with a lot going on and it wears me out because I want to do all the things. Yeah, I could see that, Thomas. I could see that. Now, Thomas, I'm going to pick on you for a second, okay? I can get on TikTok and there Thomas will be playing video games either live or he's got some pre-recorded video game thing going. Now, Thomas, I'm not saying don't play video games. But whenever I see that, the drum teacher in me goes, how come he's not playing his drums? How come he's not doing that? Like, that could be a good TikTok thing, Thomas. Like, you could take everybody on a journey of your drumming path. Does that make sense? You could say, hey, I've been playing drums for X amount of time, and I just learned this new thing, and you could do a short video of that, and you could post that. And then you could do another video later on of your progress of that. I see a lot of video game videos out there, not just from you, but other people. So see, there you go. Consider yourself picked on. You want to do all the things. Yes. So how to break through the plateau. This might be good because I just picked on Thomas. So this could be like applied to a lot of instruments. Obviously, I'm going to think of drums, but practice with intention, work on weakness, slow things down, and isolate problems. I've had lessons with different students where we worked on only 2 beats of something to get a rhythm right, and we could spend 30 minutes on that or an hour, depending on how long their lesson is, and just hammering that home over and over and over and over and over again. Or just work on a little piece of a song. Maybe it's a drum fill or something, and we'll keep working those, and we'll break it down and simplify it sometimes, and then add elements back in as we go. So slowing things down. I experience this now. I know James has experienced this because he has taught drum lessons for so long. A lot of times with younger students, they want to feel like I got it, and then they're so excited and they want to play really fast. Like that's kind of their default is to just be amped up and play fast. And sometimes it's like you got to pull on the reins a little bit and slow that horse down and go, okay, let's find the groove of this. Another way to break through the plateau is set small, clear goals. And maybe that would help you too, Thomas, is having a smaller goal. Like, I need to accomplish this much instead of that much. But all those little things are going to add up to that as you go along. So it's like you don't have to climb the entire mountain in one day. Playing a clean double stroke roll at 80 beats per minute. Can you do that? That's another thing. Like, when I think most all of us have a comfort zone of tempo that we can play in, and then we can bump that up. Like, let's see how fast you can play this and still maintain control of what you're doing. And the other is, do you have the discipline to slow that way, way down and really appreciate the space in between the notes by slowing it way down and still make it sound good? Here's something I just touched on a few minutes ago, is getting feedback from your teacher, bandmates, recordings. Record yourself. Evelyn says, I need to learn how to play fast strokes by Saturday. And then with a crying face and a laughing face. Evelyn, we could do all these things. We could do all those things. It might not be as difficult as you have made up in your head, okay? But we can do that. We can get you rolling. So you got a gig on Saturday, I'm assuming, if you have to have it by Saturday. Now, Thomas, here's Evelyn. Like, she has this commitment to get these songs going, and you're saying you want to do all the things. Like, Evelyn removed some stuff out of her life for now to focus on getting a bunch of stuff learned and ready to play with her band. And then I think once she kind of has that under control, like, she doesn't have as much of a mountain to climb, she can maintain that and then learn new songs as they come along. But right now she just had all this stuff shoved on her lap to work on. It's like, clear the board, clear your life, clear your schedule of things, and then find out like what's really, really important to focus on and be working on. I'm doing that myself. Like, my calendar is generally pretty full of commitments, whether it be music or other things. And as I headed into this new year, and with my own personal goals that I had to make the tough choice to clear my schedule of certain things, like certain things that I love to do. I don't want to be specific, not at this point anyway, but just to say, I need to take this and put it over here, or just clear my schedule of it, because I'm getting really focused on certain things that I want to accomplish, and I need the time to be able to do that. So even though there's other things that I dearly love and love being a part of, I had to make a tough decision and say, I can't stay committed to this other things anymore. And it's a really weird position to be in, but I know what I'm aiming for. So, Thomas, video games. Out the door they go. So yeah, getting feedback from your teachers, bandmates, recordings. See, Thomas and Evelyn have me as their teacher, so I can give them this feedback. Let's see. Immaculate One says, I'm learning backward. I never had lessons, but I've learned by watching and listening. My problem now is I'm trying to actually learn from scratch, and it's hard trying to slow down. Let's put your comment up there. I don't remember who Immaculate One is. Do I know you? I'm going to be really embarrassed when I go, oh, that's so-and-so. I have students that come to me that are adults who've been playing drums for a long time already. Immaculate One, you're new? Well, welcome to the show, man. Have you been here before? I've had adult students come to me that have been playing their drums for a long time. They've done a lot of cool things. They've probably had some success in some areas of music. And they have a realization at some point that, oh, I need to go back and relearn certain things. First time viewer, man, welcome, welcome, welcome. And part of that is that maybe they never learned how to read. Like I make all my students learn how to read, not because I expect them to have to rely on playing to charts or looking at an iPad, because I'm not a fan of that whatsoever. Like I everything needs to be up here, in my opinion. And so it's good to say, I need help. It's good to go find a really awesome teacher and ask for that help, where they can guide you, and not because they can help you improve your current situation with playing. And like if you feel plateaued, maybe that opens up a whole new world that you never really considered. Playing to a metronome, not that you have to play one to one live. Like each person's situation is different. I play to the click all the time. Play to the click all the time. It's necessary for what I do. But if you get practice at it, it helps clean up your playing. You have better sounding drum fills, you have better time, you have better groove. And if you're the better drummer, then your band gets better. It's really, really important to sometimes say, hey, I need some help. So Immaculate One, welcome. And I hope that helps. Let me just read your comment one more time. I'm learning backward. I never had lessons, but I've learned by watching and listening. My problem now is I'm trying to actually learn from scratch, and it's hard trying to slow down. Yeah, so there's a discipline in that, right? Like you have all this knowledge already, and it's easy to go back and say, and quickly say, oh, I got it. Do you? Do you have it? It's going back to James Harrison's comment about don't practice until you get it right. Practice until you can't get it wrong. Like, let's really just dial this in and make it super strong. Make it super strong and internalize it. Yeah, man. Awesome. All right, what else do I got? Sometimes changing the environment that you're practicing in. Like when you can't see it because I got my fake wall down here, but when I built my drum room, I wanted it to be a space that was inspiring to be in. I wanted it to be a place where you walk in and you're not looking at stuff in the garage. You're not looking at the TV. You're not looking at distractions, and that it was a conducive environment to learning and for creation. And so that's what I built. And then my students, I think, feel that same way when they come in here. But yeah, when sometimes having new gear is inspiring for you to play. Great sounding gear is inspiring to play. Sometimes changing up the configuration of your drum set can inspire new ideas and help create things in your life. So maybe, now I'm not a fan of cowbells, but maybe if you add a cowbell to the drum kit, certain things start to happen. And or maybe you take away some stuff from your kit. Like if you really strip it down to just like I've played a lot of gigs playing just kick, snare, and hat because either there was not a lot of room, either in travel, or the place that we're playing at is going to be small, or I got to remain relatively quiet for what I'm doing. So if you're only playing kick, snare, and hat, but you're used to playing those songs with cymbals and toms, like it makes you think a little bit differently, and that can be inspiring. Evelyn says, I did that since I was 5, and then I thought I had it figured out, but I learned bad habits instead, and sometimes that's hard to unlearn. Yeah, so Immaculate One, that's what Evelyn is saying about starting lessons after she was kind of self-taught for a long time. And now here she is killing it. She's playing in a band. She's got a mountain of music to learn, and it's super awesome. That's inspiring to me. Playing with other people forces growth and exposes weaknesses. Yeah, sometimes, you hear musicians talk about they hope to be in a situation where they're the least talented one in the room. Like having those around you that are really good at what they play can help lift you up to become a better player. Ah, yes, Jamie. Absolutely. Whoops, where'd it go? Here it is. Jamie says going to see live music is always going to give you ideas. Yeah, 100%. Man, it's been, what was it, 2 weeks ago? Week and a half ago, I went and saw Sebastian Bach. And I already knew I'd seen so many videos online of Sebastian, but nothing beats that live show. And just watching how Sebastian Bach not only sang great, but he also his interaction with the crowd and his awareness of like the room, not just a few people in the front row, right? Like just watching that front man sing and be a front man was really inspiring. And there was so much of me was like, I want to play with that guy. Yeah. But yeah, you can go see live bands. Like Jamie's a bass player, so maybe when Jamie goes in and sees a band, he's paying attention probably mostly to the bass, but maybe the bass drum relationship. And like I tend to focus on the drummer first. That's what I do. And then the bass player, right? Like I tend to look at the guitar player last. I think that's just how my mind works. But yeah, go and see live music. That can help inspire new ideas. Immaculate One says he's trying to incorporate rudiments into his playing. That's what he's working on right now. Yeah, man. I playing with the Eric Clapton tribute band last Friday. Earlier in that week, I had worked on some rudiment things with a student who was auditioning for Boise State. And he had some snare solos he was working out of the Will Coxon book, I think it's called. And there was some patterns in there that we had worked on pretty heavily. And so I found myself when I was playing this show on Friday, like I mentioned earlier at the top of the show, like the way I was hearing everything in my in-ears was so perfect. Like I felt like I could play anything. And I had a moment, and I don't remember what song it was, but I was able to incorporate some of those rudimental things from these snare drum solos that my student had been working on. And I just felt inspired and led there. Like the music just led right to it. And I was ready to go because I had already worked on that stuff and it fit with what I was doing. So that was a really cool thing. Yeah, rudiments are the foundation to all your drumming. And, you know, one rudiment is the single stroke roll. We all play that all the time. That's one of the rudiments that are in drumming is playing that, or the double, right? Those two rudiments are used all the time. Learning new styles. I mentioned jazz is like, that's a weakness for me. But yeah, sometimes I'll work on that and then I'll find it like infiltrating some of my other ideas. Is plateauing avoidable? No. And that's okay. That's, I think we all experience that. I definitely have. Is it okay to stay where you are? Yes, I think it's okay. I mentioned like some people are hobbyist musicians, right? Maybe they have a certain skill set and that certain skill set's not too demanding of time to maintain that level of playing. And even if they're a gigging musician, maybe they play out 4 or 5 times a year, right? Like they know enough to be able to do that. And their whole thing is just to have fun with their friends, and they're not concerned about money or any of those things. That's all perfectly okay. It's perfectly okay. Now, some might think as you've watched these shows over the last 3.5 years that maybe I don't think that. I do think that. I think it's perfectly okay to not care about money and you just play music for fun. I play music for fun and I get paid. So that's my living, right? We all have a living that's got to come from somewhere. So, yeah, not everyone wants to be an elite musician. Only play it for the pure enjoyment of playing. And nothing wrong with maintaining that and being honest and content. Now, even those people who that's all they are trying to accomplish is just to have fun. And I know several musicians that they get together once a week and they jam in the garage and they have some beers or whatever and they just hang out and play, and that's it for them. They're so happy just to do that. Like that's their release, right? I've never played golf in my life. I never stepped on a golf course and swung a club. Now, some of you might go, "Oh, really? Really?" I mean, I've played putt-putt golf at Wahoo's or whatever it's called. I've done that a few times, quite terribly. But there's nothing in that playing golf thing that is even on my radar. Like I don't even but for a lot of people it is. And so maybe for some people that's their golf, is to get together once a week and hang out with their friends and play music. Jamie, that's a great I like that. Jamie Vink says, whoops, Evelyn's popped in there. Plateaus are necessary. It pushes you to grow or die. Well, I don't know if you die, but maybe you just become stagnant. Well, we could think about water. We've all seen a running stream, right? And you could look at a running stream and look at the water and go, look how clear it is. Like you can see right to the bottom of the stream or the river maybe. And versus a pond that has like a scuzz on the top of the water, some kind of green film. And not much is living in there, right? Not much is living in there. So yeah, maybe sometimes being stagnant is a gross place to be, full of sickness. Evelyn wants to know, how do you prevent getting frustrated, or how do I cope with it? Evelyn, you cannot prevent getting frustrated. Your frustration in music is called growth. That's what that is. And we all experience growing pains. And like Jamie mentioned earlier, like going to the gym, you can't just go to the gym, walk in and then walk out and you have all this muscle definition and your weight's where you want it to be and you're feeling good. Like that doesn't require one session. That requires daily commitment that adds up over time. And, you know, if you go and look at yourself and you do that consistently, like what do you look like and feel like in a year compared to where you started? It's not just a one-time thing, but it's sometimes doing the hard things first. So that frustration is growth. And accept it, Evelyn, accept it with open arms and remind yourself, this is what it takes to be great. Brian Lovin says, you got to start golfing, Fred. It's therapeutic. Brian, I believe you. That it's therapeutic. I just never tried it. I don't know. Maybe part of it in my mind is like, oh, I got to buy this. You got to buy all this stuff. Do you have to have special shoes to be on the golf course? You guys all know how I feel about shoes. You have to have special shoes, and then you got to have the clubs, and I don't know, unless you rent that stuff. I don't know how all that works. And then I'm sure there's got to be a golf course for completely newbies, right? I'm not going to be the guy that gets to walk into the fancy club, I'm sure, and the locker room is itself is like $1.5 million, right? Or am I just thinking about what I see in the movies? Joffrey Stone says, I always used to joke that I was saving learning golf for when I was a rock star celebrity. Yeah, then you can go play golf with Alice Cooper and James Harrison, because James Harrison is an avid golfer, I believe. I'm pretty sure that's the case. The producer says, I think she means that if you don't break out of the plateau, you just quit together. Are you referring to Evelyn, Mary? I don't know. Some of these comments are starting to cross-pollinate here a little bit. Thomas says, how do you know you have a talent for something like drumming? Interesting question. Interesting question. How do you know you have a talent for something like drumming? Man. You know, when I was 10 years old when I saw my buddy Dave Goff play drums, and Dave's probably 8 to 10 years older than me, maybe. Something like that. I didn't have a talent for drumming at all, but I saw Dave Goff play drums and I said, I want to do that. And so I did. It just looked so fun. And I was willing to do anything that it took to become good at playing the drums. Like, it just never left me. There was a spark that ignited when I was 10, and I'm 53. So 43 years of nonstop love for this instrument. Like that, it just struck me like a bolt of lightning. And I don't know how else to explain it other than that. But I wouldn't say I knew I had a talent for drumming, but I know that the more I did it, the easier it became. And then I started to recognize that I was getting good at it, I guess you could say. That doesn't sound very humble to say that, I guess. But just having the self-awareness, like I knew I was accomplishing a certain level of ability quickly just because I did it so much. And I think that's true for anything that you do. The more you do something, the better you. That's just like sports, right? The more you. Okay, let's take golf, since we were just talking about golf. Like, if you get out on the golf course and you have somebody to kind of show you what to do, you're going to get better at it. Like, the more you swing, the better you're going to get. You're going to get more calculated. I'm just imagining, like, I've never played golf, like I said, but you're going to use a specific club for a specific thing that you're trying to do, I'm assuming. And there you go. So I don't know about knowing you have a talent for something like drumming. Now, I've had some students that start with me that it seemed like they should be understanding or getting this easier. But sometimes it just takes people a lot longer to understand something. And that's just because everybody learns a little bit differently. So having a teacher that can be patient with everyone and realize not everybody gets this quick, and some people get this slow, and everything in between, and the reasons why they do it are vastly different from one another. So each case is there's not like a one answer for that. Evelyn says Fred wants to go barefoot. Nope. I hate feet. Oh man, I'm getting lost in my comments here. Let's see where Mary said, I think she meant you quit altogether. He means sorry, I'm jumping around in the comments here. Oh, so Mary says, for example, you can sing, but you definitely don't have a talent for singing. That's me. That's me. She's calling me out subconsciously. I have no talent for singing. Zero. And I know this. I wish that I could sing. I wish I had some kind of ability in that area, and I do not. And if I sing and it sounds okay, it's like by happenstance. It just happened to be that way. But like, could I repeat that again? Probably not. And then, if I'm by myself in the car and I want to sing along to something, I'll sing along, but nobody hears that. Nobody. And that's and Mary knows. Mary knows that I do not have a talent for singing whatsoever. None. Zero. Zip. Evelyn said, like I said last week, no matter how good we are, there is always a 6-year-old that's pro with 30 years of experience. Yeah. So Evelyn asked me that because, in the world of social media, we see young kids doing absolutely amazing things with drums and other instruments too. And you wonder, like, how in the world did this 6-year-old kid play like that? I don't know. Some people, I think, just have a predisposition for being able to do things like that. And I have younger students who are like 8, 9, 10 years old who are extremely driven, just like I was when I was 10. Like, that's what they've just surrounded themselves with music, and that's all they care to do is to play. And those people advance really, really fast. Where most kids, like Thomas, I know I feel like I'm picking on you, but the whole video game thing, like, I never got into video games. We had a video game system at home, and we were allowed to play it if we asked permission, and Dad was feeling like, yeah, you could probably do that. But more or less, I was either playing drums or riding my bicycle. Like, and then my friends played music. Like, my friends all cared about playing music. None of my friends were into playing video games. None of them. Well, that's not true completely. I did have some friends who weren't really into music, but they were really into playing video games. But like, if I went over to their house and they were playing video games, I was bored out of my mind. Like, I was not drawn to it at all. So I don't get it. I don't get it. But yeah, that's how sometimes these young kids just fall in love with what they do, and there's just no stopping them. Joff says, I think there's talent and hard work. Sometimes you get both. Sometimes you get a little of one or none. I'm definitely not talented in music or martial arts, but I live by the old adage, you get out of it what you put into it. Yep. Yes, let's let everybody read Joffrey Stone's comment there. Definitely. Thomas is asking, when you played on stage, I think you were saying, like, is when you played on stage, when you truly said to yourself, I'm good at this and talented enough to play in front of a crowd? Man, I don't remember for sure, because I got into school band, and so school band, you do concerts, and I didn't experience like the stage fright part of that, because I'm like, especially in like 6th grade band, there's like 80 kids in the band, and you're setting up chairs and you're pushing percussion instruments around, and to me, it was just like, well, this is exactly how it is in the classroom, except we're in the gym instead of the classroom, and my parents are in the audience, right? Like, so I never, like, through that experience, felt like I'm good at this. I just felt like I'm just doing what I normally do at school. Now, when I was coming up through the ranks, there was this TV program called MTV, and that had a huge influence on me. And that's where I learned how to spin my sticks, is by watching Motley Crue videos and things like that. There was a lot of larger than life type stuff happening on MTV. And so that's where, like, the visual part of the entertainment business was really apparent to me. And I remember playing more of kind of a rock song in jazz band, and I think I was a sophomore in high school. And there was one point where I was playing and I was able to spin the stick, and I had never tried that in front of an audience. And the whole student body just erupted with yelling and applause when I did that. And so that kind of show off moment really made an impression on me. And that's where I felt like I was good at it. That's a very long answer to your question, Thomas, but that's where that was one of those moments where I felt like I had achieved a certain level of ability in that. And then you kind of get addicted to playing in front of people. So, yeah. Do I get nervous playing shows now? No, I don't get nervous about playing the show at all. Sometimes there's things outside, like either after the show or before the show, that I get a little anxious about. Like if there's not clear direction on when we should be somewhere or who to talk to, or like some of these unknown things disrupt me a little bit. But once you go in and start asking questions, you get answers to those, and that for me, then I kind of settle down pretty quickly after that. But being on stage, I don't have any issues with that. James says, I equate talent for drumming to ease of picking it up. I believe desire is the winner in the long run. Yep. Brian says, if you hear me sing, you'll be glad I'm a drummer. Same. You go back and sit over there at the back of the stage. Evelyn says, I used to have this dilemma. I subconsciously did not want to practice because I did not want to face the fact that I might not get the results right away. Huh, interesting. You know, I think I experienced that when I took piano lessons. Like, I don't know why when I took piano lessons, like, nothing made sense to me. And I don't know if I was just at that point in my life where I just didn't absorb information, no matter how, excuse me, how it was presented to me. Or I wouldn't say that my teacher was bad, because my sister and I both took piano lessons at the same time, and she had advanced way faster than I did. Like, I just didn't get it. I think for most of us, we want to just like pick up an instrument and immediately be good at it, or it sound like something, right? I know plenty of people that started playing violin and they squeaked and squawked along for so long. And I never really hear this information from the person actually playing the violin. It was just the people around them couldn't stand the process. They just couldn't handle the noise. And I experienced that a little bit too with parents of drummers. That's just too loud and it doesn't sound like anything. It just sounds like noise. So there's those challenges to work around too. But that's an interesting question, Evelyn. We might have to talk about that deeper. Oh, the producer is back. Let's turn up that microphone. Welcome back, Mrs.
Hi.
F.
Hello.
We're having a great discussion, and
yeah,
and I know that you've been involved a little bit on.
I've been following along in the car.
Yeah. So Bet is here. She says, firstly, yay for me catching your live. Secondly, your light is way better. Can see your whole face. Yay for that too.
That's funny.
Now, Bet, this is where the lighting thing is a hiccup for the producer too, and she'll sometimes just interrupt the show to move things around. So I was trying to avoid that today.
See?
She says, plateaus, I train dogs, and at some point they hit a plateau too. It's like they forget how to learn. Wow. Train through or play through anyway. Don't miss any of those regular sessions. You don't want to miss that magical moment when the light bulb comes back on, bigger and brighter than before, and you feel like you're back in the game again as a better player, I might add.
Yeah.
Wow, that is an excellent comment.
That's interesting. I wouldn't have never thought about dogs in that way.
Well, I've never actually known a dog trainer.
I guess neither have I.
Well, here I am. Didn't I tell you we'd have it all?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So what I was talking about earlier is Jamie
Yes.
had asked.
Yes.
He said he made a comment about a plateau or die or something along those lines.
Yeah.
And I was saying, I think what he means, but my Siri changed it to she, of course.
Of course.
That if you don't break out of the plateau, you probably just quit altogether. That's the die part, not die as in death.
No. I know that.
And then
I know.
Yeah.
I realize.
Okay.
I'm
all right.
I could put 2 + 2 equals 4.
But you weren't going there. And then let's see. Who was it? Thomas was asking about how can you tell if you're talented?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know that he meant you specifically. Like, at what point do you know if you're talented or not? I think he meant in general. How does one know?
Yeah, but
if
all
they
I
have
could
a
do
talent,
is relate that to my own experience.
Yeah, but well, for yourself, but you certainly you've seen it with students, right? Like,
yeah,
you've had students that have come in and it's like a brick wall went up right at the beginning and they just can't get past it. And so maybe perhaps for that person, it's not a talent. They may be good at something else and they need to find what that talent is. But,
yeah.
Yeah. So.
Okay, so we watched the movie, or at least Mary has watched the movie Ratatouille recently, the cartoon. And what does the one chef say? He has a cookbook and he says anyone can cook.
Yeah, anyone can cook. Yeah.
So,
well, there's vocal coaches out there that say anyone can sing, but as we know from American Idol,
yeah.
No, it's not her. It's another gal. But as we've seen from American Idol auditions from the early days, no, not everyone can sing.
Yeah.
Not everybody has that talent, and they may love singing. Plenty of people can sing and they love singing or, doing whatever, but they're not that good at it, and they probably never will get very good at it.
Yeah.
So I don't know, which is unfortunate. I wish like we could all, but I think that's kind of what makes each talent special, right? Like, it doesn't matter how hard I try. I'm pretty confident that I could never paint as well as some of these artists, Michelangelo or whoever, or, or create any sort of art, sculptures, paint, whatever. It's, I don't have a talent for that.
I like where you're going with the painting thing, because let's maybe parallel that or compare and contrast that with learning an instrument. Like, I could watch somebody play piano and they can play some chords and stuff, and I could watch how their fingers move and think, I could do that.
Mm-hmm.
And so if I sit down at the piano and try, it just sounds like a cat dialing a phone, right? It sounds like beep, right? Like, I'm mimicking the movements, but I can't actually mimic the sound. So then I think about, I don't know what kind of artists, either abstract art or impressionist, where
I could probably do the Picasso kind of stuff.
Well, I'm just talking about, like, so maybe there's a huge canvas and you see somebody dip a paintbrush and they start like throwing paint at the wall and it just splatters in a certain way, and then they get paint on their hands, they smear it around or whatever, right? Like, to me, like, well, I could make a mess too, right? But their mess is worth a lot of money.
Yeah.
My mess is like, it looks like a mess.
Yeah.
There's no, I don't see the difference.
Does it come down to beauty is in the eye of the beholder?
Yeah.
Because you hear that too. You can hear people saying, "Oh, so and so is so talented," and then you're like, or there's this band or whatever is so good, and you're thinking, "Yikes." No, they're not. They're not good.
Yeah.
And they've plateaued, and they're probably never going to get any better. You hear that. And so I guess, maybe in some cases, beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
Sure. Well, it's
because mom's always going to think you've got wonderful talent.
Now, that's another thing that I've told some of my students, and maybe James Harris can relate. As parents, when you see your kids doing something, you want to be encouraging, right? And you can say, if they played baseball and they got up to bat and they swung 3 times and got struck out, and then they were in right field picking the grass and picking the the weeds or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, they're not really paying attention. And then
Yeah.
you get back to the car, you're like, that was a great game. Good job. Blah, blah, blah. You know, that was cute. Right. And I think it's the same thing with music. Like if somebody sits down at the drums, they kind of smack around and make a little bit of noise. Their parents can go, yeah, he's doing it. That was cute. Like, where do you cross the bridge from that was cute to that was actually really good? That was impressive. That was like, wow, you hit a home run. You got that guy out at first base.
Well, in baseball, Christian loved playing baseball even when he was 2.
Mm-hmm.
Like he at a very young age fell in love with baseball. He watched The Sandlot. I mean, at that age.
Yeah.
And he would go out in the backyard and he could toss up the ball and hit it with the bat.
Yep.
Really well. And so then when it came time to start playing baseball, he understood the game.
Mm-hmm.
He knew that you hit the ball and then you run to first base and then you run to second, you run to third, and you run home. Ian, on the other hand, couldn't understand the concept of the game. He was the one sitting out in outfield, picking the grass or dancing around. He literally was at first base and the ball came right to him and he was like, nope. And he wouldn't grab it. And the little outfielder had to come running in.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that's
baseball.
That's cute and funny, but he did not have a talent for baseball. He had, so he just couldn't understand the concept. And I don't know, does understanding have something to do with it? Because you did have one student who finally gave up on playing after, I don't know, he'd been with you for a year or 2. And he tended to like to talk more than actually do his lesson. Bless his heart. But it seemed like his brain was stuck and he couldn't understand the concepts, and like no matter how differently you tried to explain it, it just didn't click.
Yeah.
And so maybe for somebody like that, it's just the talent isn't there, and and it's sad because sometimes you just want to do that so bad. Like I just want to be this shredding drummer or the shredding guitar player, and it's like you just can't make it work.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I feel bad when that happens, but I think it's important to figure out what your true talent is.
Sure. Yeah. And sometimes it's just like, I have people that come here who never practice ever. But their half hour they spend here once a week, that's their golf game.
Yeah.
They come and they hang out and they play drums and they do whatever they can do in 30 minutes. And that they're totally good with that.
And the thing is, some people will say that 30 minutes is my therapy and it's cheaper than going to a therapist.
Yeah. This is also also true. Yeah.
And I don't mean in the talking sense necessarily. Sometimes they just want to talk that week.
Yeah.
Because they had something going on and they just needed somebody to talk to. And you're like the hairdresser. It's like everything comes out. But yeah, like there's, and Joff does martial arts, right? I used to do at U of I did what they called Taekwondo, and then here I did Taekwondo. And I just remember, especially when I was up at U of I doing that, everything, like all the tests, all the stress, all the crap that was going on just disappeared in that hour. It was like an hour and a half that I was in class. And I just loved being there so much.
That was your decompression hour,
It
right?
was. And it was, I think it was twice a week that we would go. And then after you reached a certain level, you were allowed to join the other class where they did like throwing and stuff. And so then I was going 4 days a week, and it was just the best. I just loved it. But yeah, it was like therapy. It was like the world just vanished while you did this thing. And for some people coming in and having their drum lesson, or a guitar lesson or whatever they're doing, pottery, that's their therapy.
Well, here's it's definitely like, so those people they never practice and they're just here and they hang out or whatever, maybe they don't necessarily have a talent, if you want to use that word, for drumming, but that's their time. Like Mary, like I said, like was that your decompression time? Like this is a time where I don't have to think about anything else.
Yeah.
And I could just disappear for a minute into this.
Yeah. And you're doing something that's fun, and it's artistic, right? And it's creative, and it's good enough for what your purposes are.
It's physical.
Yeah.
It's physical. Jamie says, do you use visualization, seeing yourself performing complex concepts? I do, for sure. Yep. I think visualization is a really good way to approach things. Like, okay, like I've been playing drums for a long time. I know where, like, I close my eyes, I can see where everything is on my kit. I could be trying to go to bed at night, and I could be just laying there thinking about drums and thinking about something I want to play, and I totally visualize myself playing my drums. And sorry, I swallowed weird with my coffee. and I can kind of memorize a pattern in my head, and then the next day I can go sit at my drums, and I've already like kind of worked through it.
Sure.
Yeah. So I visualize all the time. I tell my students to do the same thing.
Yeah.
Evelyn here. Sometimes we get in our own way mentally. Yep. And Fred always tells me to change the way I talk about myself. We tend to believe ourselves.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of saying I can't. I'm not a fan of predetermining an outcome, a bad outcome. Like they've already made up in their minds that they're not going to be able to play this thing. And so why even bother?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, well, what if you actually tried it? And what if it actually worked? And what if you actually did it?
Yeah. What if?
So I am not a fan of saying I can't. I'm not a fan of my students saying I can't. Now I will accept I don't know how yet, or I can't play that yet, or I don't know how to play that yet. Like I try to take the word can't out of the vocabulary.
Well, I mean, like we tend to believe ourselves is what she's saying. So like, exactly. Oh, I suck at this.
Yeah.
I'll never be as good as so and so.
If you believe you suck at it, guess what? You probably suck at it.
Or you're going to, like, you're making yourself suck at it.
You've talked yourself into being.
Yeah. But talking about Sandlot again, there's this scene where the boy, the main kid, Smalls, he's trying to make friends with the kids at the Sandlot. This is pretty early in the show. And he says something like, "Oh, Mom, they just think I'm a nincompoop or whatever."
Oh, yeah.
And she's like, "Honey, you'll always be a nincompoop with that attitude."
Right.
Like you can't, you got to stop that. Like you've even said, change your mind, change your life.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, exactly. So.
Oh, it's so easy to just talk bad about ourselves, though, isn't it? It's like.
It is, but like what I liked about that scene in the Sandlot is the kid was feeling down, and she didn't.
She put it back on him.
Yeah, there was like she didn't pamper him, or there's a different word maybe.
Coddle.
Coddle. She didn't coddle the idea of that. Like, yeah, you're always going to be crummy if that's your attitude towards it. So. Yeah, you'll always be a nincompoop if you don't change.
Yeah.
And that whole change your mind, change your life became a mantra for me through Matt Starr.
Oh.
Is that he said that a lot.
Uh-huh.
Like your mental attitude towards things has so much to do with your physical ability to do things. Like if you just make up in your mind that things are impossible.
Could you imagine if Michael Jordan said, "Oh, I can't hit that free throw,"
right? Yeah, exactly. Well, we kind of got a little bit off track from the plateau thing, but it.
Well, they probably plateaued at some point too, right? Like even athletes, they plateau. It's not just music.
Yeah. So what keeps people moving forward? Like the love of the music, the challenge of the music, the curiosity in the music, and then like having a band or having a gig, the accountability, like that all ties in, like especially to Evelyn's situation. Since we'll use Evelyn as an example since she's here and she was on the show last week, is Evelyn was going to take the winter off from lessons. And so in the end of November, beginning of December, she wanted to do these drum covers to show her family what she's done so far.
That was in December,
right?
yeah.
And I think you had those ready, maybe, Mary, just before Christmas.
So she wanted them done before. It was either before Christmas or before the end of the year, but it was right around that time, yeah.
Whatever that timeline was.
Yeah.
And in the midst of that, those videos helped her get a gig. So now all of a sudden she has like all this pressure put on her to be in this band. And so she immediately came back to lessons. She's like, I need you, So it's like, okay, what keeps you moving forward? Having a band, having gigs, having accountability, right?
Goals.
The challenge of it.
Goals.
Yeah, the goals.
Purpose. Yeah.
And it's so cool because she'll walk in at the beginning of the month and she's got cash in her hand. She's like, here's my lessons. I played a gig. It's like,
yeah,
it's so cool. It's so cool. It's like now she's on the path to being a professional.
Yeah.
It's like, wow.
Totally.
And I get asked frequently, like, how do I stay motivated as a teacher?
Because of stuff like that.
It is because of stuff like that. I tell people, like, I never know when the next John Bonham is walking through the door.
Oh my gosh.
Right?
Yeah, it's true.
You just never know.
Yeah.
You never know. And some students that I've had that I thought, oh, they're never going to get this.
Well, you never knew, like with Drew.
Right?
Like we saw Drew when he was in middle school.
Yeah.
And what was he, an 8th grader? And the band teacher said, here's your snare player for next year.
Yeah. So
you were doing the drum line.
Yep. Nick Whooper was the band teacher at Lake Hazel Middle. And he introduced me to Drew and he said, this is your future center snare. And so this is when I was teaching at Mountain View.
Yeah.
And doing the drumline stuff.
Yeah.
And now he's in his age out year at Santa Clara Vanguard.
At Vanguard.
Yeah.
Like they took 3rd place last year.
Now I cannot make the claim that I showed Drew how to do all this stuff that he does now. But I can tell you that having a teacher that is encouraging and saying, yes, you can do these things. Let's figure this out.
Yeah.
Let's make whatever you're interested in. Let's figure out how to make that work.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
So it's, I didn't teach Drew complex rhythms and all of this skill to play traditional grip. But what I think I helped Drew with is help him realize that his dream of doing this was possible.
Yeah.
And that's really important.
Yeah.
So Matt Hartz was on the show, a few weeks ago, and he, being a longtime music teacher, said, sometimes it's hard to stay motivated as a teacher because you're constantly in this mode of elevating everybody when certain students aren't even willing to elevate themselves. Like that becomes a difficult thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
But sometimes you just have to keep pushing through those things. Yeah. And sometimes the light bulb will go off with the student where suddenly they just went, whoa, I can do this? Yeah, you can do this.
Yeah.
Really, really important to keep that.
And sometimes you have to trick them.
Yeah. Yeah.
You had somebody here recording. Oh, I think it was, is it Ivy that was recording her song?
Yeah.
Yeah. She was having trouble getting through a drum fill. Mm-hmm. And it just wasn't, like, the timing was off. It just kept being off and off and off and off.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, what's the rhythm you're trying to play? And I had just seen a teacher do this down at whatever school it was in the LA area that we were at.
Oh, when you went for the conference thing?
And oh my gosh, he was such an amazing band teacher. And like he was his little clinic that he did was just so good. I'm like, fine. Like, this is the first time I've seen a band director like do a clinic where like he was really, really teaching them something.
Mm-hmm.
And he had a kid playing a sax solo, and he kept tripping up in the same spot. And he's like, okay, play this, do it like this. Now do it like this. Now do it like this.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, and so he tricked him into playing that exact rhythm fluidly.
Yeah.
And said, okay, now play the part. And boom. And the whole class was like, whoa.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, I could try this little trick with Ivy. And it worked. I did the same thing. I'm like, okay, play this on this tom. Now play it over here. Now play it between this tom and that tom. Okay. All right. Now play it. And boom, she did it. I was like, yes.
See, I think,
so you got to trick them sometimes.
And Mary, I think that's what makes you a good producer and a good recording engineer, is that you have a really, really good knowledge of music, and you have really good ears. You're really paying attention. Like, some people think it's funny because I call you the producer, and I'm like, no, she actually produces. She's actually a producer.
Yeah, but that nickname came a long time ago.
But it's you have this ability to hear things sometimes that, and I think I mentioned it to you, or mentioned it to everybody while you were out taking Ian to school, is that see, Evelyn says, yes, Mary is the best. Yep, she is. Is sometimes I feel stuck in playing like the same drum fills, and I'll be recording a song for somebody, and like more or less the song will dictate what you're going to do. And certain things work. Like, it's kind of like salt and pepper, or sugar or flour. Like, you know, you have the main ingredients for stuff, but you'll go, well, yeah, that's kind of a tired thing. Like, can you still make this point, but do something different? Can you go, and you'll say into the mic, like a certain rhythm or something.
Yeah.
Something that I'm not thinking. Right. So I think that's a really good,
I think, like you tend to play a lot of the same drum fills, like your tried and trues. There's this one, I can always throw this sucker in there, and it's like, why don't you do something totally different?
Yeah.
Totally weird and crazy. And there's that one drum fill in that Alanis Morissette tune.
Oh yeah, then one of her newer songs.
Yeah, well, gosh, it's like 5 or 6 years old.
I know,
now,
but it's still one of her newer songs.
And I can't think of the song right now, but he does this crazy, weird drum fill that you kind of feel like, oh, it sounds like he got stuck in some weird loop. And then he comes out of it, and then it went over. You're like, whoa, that was so cool.
It's like a 12 count drum fill.
It's like so long.
It's like 3 bars of drum fill, and it completely evolved, and it's so incredible.
Yeah.
But so okay, so I think like every musician plateaus.
Try something new.
And the difference is some stay there, and then some use it as a launching point. Like they recognize, like, oh, I'm kind of stuck. Like, what can I do to be unstuck?
I think you got to shake it up.
Yeah. And if you feel stuck, it means you're ready for the next step.
Yeah.
Right?
You can't stay in book 1 forever. Got to move into book 2.
Like, I think if you're going along, you're eventually going to hit a wall, right?
Yeah.
You're going to, so do you just like, are you going to break through that wall? Are you going to go over the wall? Are you going to go around the wall? Right?
Yeah.
It's like there's a way to get through that. And then, so like, ask yourself this, like, what's one thing you could do this week to challenge yourself musically?
I'm going to get out those little books.
I think that's a great idea. Was there 3 books?
It was 3 books.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're sitting on my dresser. I got to bring them. I got to actually take them to where my guitar is.
Right.
Oh, you know what? I feel like I could really move out of this plateau by having a really cool retro Fender guitar that I saw yesterday, 2 days ago.
Hey babe, if I had $1,200 right now, I would hit end stream and we would just go get it.
I could sell my car.
Well, we might have to do that anyway. But so I think, you know, there was this saying that's like, I think it's from the Marines or the Navy. I think it was a Navy thing along the lines is like,
be all that you can be.
don't rise when you're under pressure. Don't rise to the occasion. Fall to your level of training.
Oh,
so you could apply that a little bit to this conversation. Is if you don't rise to your goals, you'll fall to your habits.
Yeah, that's kind of what James was saying.
Yeah,
at the beginning.
Yeah. So I think it's really, really important to like have a goal, have a goal and chase that goal, or you're just going to be comfortable in your habits, right?
Yeah. He says, I found with students, even with myself, when practicing, if anything is difficult, we tend to go back and play something we're comfortable with more than challenge ourselves.
Yeah. Scott Alexander's here.
What?
Hey, Scott. He says, my gosh, Mary, that is me buying vintage for inspiration.
Well, you're a really good bass player, so that means it works. I'm going down as soon as the show's over.
Maybe Rob will let you finance it.
Yeah.
Hey, so since 12 fret...
Can I wash a bunch of dishes to pay it off?
Well, I don't know how many dishes they have at 12 fret music, but...
I'll polish all the guitars.
I think we could go back to where, like, if you wanted a part-time job, maybe you could go work there. But the other thing is, like, 12 fret music has sponsored the show for this year.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And since we're talking about 12 fret music, located at 671 South Capitol Boulevard in downtown Boise,
That's
Idaho.
That's right.
Yes.
Right by the library and the park and FedEx.
Maybe and 12
River?
fret will also be willing to sponsor the show again next year, but in addition to what they've already put up, they'll donate.
They'll donate this really cool guitar.
What it was a Fender, right?
It was a Fender, yeah.
And it had like a whammy bar on it, but not the Floyd Rose type. It had Mary called it the wah wah. It has one of these wah 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 things.
Those wah wah.
I wanted to say it had jazz in the name. Fender Jazz something.
I don't know. It's not, the body shape is not like a Strat.
No, it's not.
It's a little like, I don't know. Is it almost as if you kind of like stretched it a little funny? Like you.
Did you take a picture of
like
it?
If you take a, oh gosh.
Wow. It just has to live in your memory now. Wow.
I probably have a pic because it's been there. So unless he moved the fenders around from another spot when we were there before, it's been there. I've noticed it before, but it's almost like if you take a rectangle and you shift it and make it like, is that a parallelogram? It's kind of like that. It's like, it looks like it got leaned.
Scott says Bigsby.
Bigsby?
I don't know if that's a style or... Scott is one of those guys that just seems to have this endless knowledge of things.
We'll see.
Bud says it's a Jazz Master with vibrato. Jazz Master is exactly what it said on the headstock.
Jazz Master.
Yep. Hey, Bud, do you know the guitar we're talking about? Or you just recognize
they have a few. They have a few, and the one I want is, I'm not going to say it because it's a color that I love.
Oh, man. Well, at any rate, that's I think that would be a good plan. We'll see if
jazz.
12th fret music. It's the term.
I have to wait a whole year.
It's the trim on the Jazz Master.
So this particular one, so it's got like these so it's got the knobs, right? And the switch. And then above the strings, it's got another switch and two little dials.
You sound like a drummer talking about a guitar.
It's got dials, and I can't remember. He told me
the
dials were for tone.
Mary needs your knowledge.
I'm looking at them. Yes. Why does that say bass? That's a guitar. Okay, and I'm just looking at ones online. Yeah, I don't. He said those little dials were like for tone.
Okay, we got to wrap this up in 1 minute.
Okay, all right.
We have 1 minute.
All right, go check out. Don't look at my guitar. Go look at the other ones that look like it.
Yes.
It should be obvious which one's mine.
Yeah. But Scott does have this endless knowledge that is just like, I feel so uneducated when I'm around Scott. Scott probably knows more about drum gear than I do. That's how nerdy some people are. Hey, everybody, thanks for joining in today. That's helpful always with the comments and the suggestions, and get unstuck, get off the plateau and learn something new.
Right.
Right?
And then come back and tell us what you did next week.
Yeah. Next week, I will have on the show Jeremy Steinkohler from San Francisco. Drummer Jeremy Steinkohler is going to be here. So,
all right.
See you guys next week. Fret music.
Okay. All right. Have a great week.